Alright, so now that you've understood the basis or the formulation of these roots and the history of these quadratic roots and stuff, the next thing you need to know is how they will examine you based on the same thing. So there are only two ways in which they can examine you. Number one, they tell you to find a value of a certain expression, being given a quadratic function. And then number two, they can tell you to actually derive a quadratic equation if they've given you the roots and then they've given you some other equation. All right, so let's start with finding the values. If you've been given the quadratic equation and they've given you something to play with. So here's the thing. So they can give you an equation such as let's say 2x minus 4x plus maybe 5. All right, we've been given this, and this is equal to 0. Then they tell me to say, okay, find the value of 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta. They can just give me that. Find the value of this. So finding the value of this is pretty much simple, because one thing that I need to know is this. I just need to start my evaluation from here. So they've given me this is the question, so they say this is A. Okay, so answering A, I'm going to say, okay, they have given me that, so I'm going to say what is the common denominator between these two things? It's going to be alpha beta. So alpha into alpha beta is just beta. Beta times 1, that's beta, plus alpha into alpha beta, that's alpha. Alpha times 1, that's alpha. So I can see my top is showing me the sum of the two roots. My bottom is showing me the products of these two roots. I know how to find that, don't I? I know to say my sum of my roots, which is alpha beta, should give me negative b over a, and then my products of my roots, sorry, this is sum of the roots, alpha plus beta, should give me that. Then products of my roots, which is alpha beta, should give me c over a, like that. And then what else am I going to say? I am going to say, alright, so what is my a, b, and c? So from this given expression here, you can clearly see your a. So your a is 2, your b is negative 4, and your c is 5. Now if you're answering this in an exam sheet, you clearly indicate to say my a is equal to 2, my b is equal to negative 4. Okay, that is not a 4. Negative 4, and then my c is equal to 5. Alright, so I have that. Now, how do I find my sum of my roots and my products of my roots? What I'm going to say is this. So my sum of my roots, which is alpha plus beta, is going to be equal to what? Negative b over a. So negative b, what's my b? So negative, my b is negative 4. What is my a? My a is 2. So this is going to be positive 4 over 2, which is just going to be equal to 2. So 2 is my sum of my roots. So alpha plus beta is equal to 2. So meaning here where is beta plus alpha, which is the same as alpha plus beta, I'm going to put 2. And then what else do I need to find? Products of my roots. How do I find my products? This is c over a down there. So c over a, I'm going to say, what is my c? My c is 5. My a is what? 2. So that's what I'm going to replace down here. So how am I going to write it? Okay, so let me do this. If I can get rid of that, I can get rid of that. So this was, this here was my sum, and then this here down here is my product. Let me not forget that. And then I continue now on with this expression. So I'm going to say, okay, on top there I have beta plus alpha, which is the same as alpha plus beta, and my answer gave me a 2. So I'm going to put my 2 on top there. Down there I found a 5 over 2. So I can continue this down here by saying 2 divided by 5 over 2. So this is going to be 2 multiplied by 2 over 5. So this is going to be 4 over 5. So this is my value of this. So that's how I express it out. So the best thing that you would start in any of these roots expression is that before you answer anything, start by finding your sum and start by finding your product, because no matter what you're going to do, you're going to need those two, sum and product. So that was one example. So let's have another example.